How old is old, especially in dog years? And is it more difficult to care for an aging animal? Samantha is here from the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. And there's some questions about caring for older pets. Sam, how are you?
Hi, Zach.
And Sam, why don't you tell us about the lovely young lady next to us?
So this is Jelly Bean, and she is a Chihuahua mix, and she was actually a stray. She is 10 years old, and she even wore a beautiful little flower for you today.
She is gorgeous.
Yeah, she's really sweet. She had periodontal disease when she came into the shelter, which meant that her teeth were virtually rotting. And so we ended up having to remove all of her teeth. So she's on a soft food diet now. But as you can see, her temperament is really great. She's really mellow, easygoing girl. She's being housed right now with some other dogs, so she's great with other dogs as well.
When we talk about dogs and aging and teeth and tooth disease is a really big deal with dogs.
Yeah, it's incredibly common, especially for smaller dogs. Bigger dogs, you don't have as much of a problem with teeth rotting and periodontal disease. But with smaller dogs, their teeth are closer together. There's more teeth in a smaller confined area. So you're going to get a lot of problems there. So I always recommend that when you get them when they're younger, get them used to getting their teeth brushed.
And we think of the Humane Society, Samantha, and you guys have a lot of puppies, but you also have a fair amount of older dogs as well, just like Jelly Bean.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of older dogs at the Humane Society, and you know, we don't consider them any different than any other dog. We consider a puppy just the same as an older dog, and we take all of their lives into account. So we adopt them out. We don't put them down or anything like that. So it's up to the public to come in and adopt these pets, and they're really not as hard to care for as you might think. They might not have as much energy per se, but some households are looking for that.
Right, because I mean, you get a puppy and it is round-the-clock activity.
My goodness.
It's almost like having a child.
Yeah.
But an older dog, while still needing care, Samantha, is, as you, I mean,
look at Jelly Bean.
She's just sitting there.
Yeah, she's easygoing, easy to go get around with, and in the car she was perfectly fine as well. And also, like you said, puppies are around the clock, so it just depends on what you're looking for in your personal household. I will say, though, however, that older pets do come with a little bit more care. They can be a lot more susceptible to diseases, and you do have to mind their health and take them to vet visits every 6 months.
Right, it's not, again, like an aging human. Again, the medical concerns become a little higher. But again, these animals need homes just like the puppies do, and it takes a special person because, again, like you said, the animal just a little more restrained. And talk about, you mentioned some of the things that can happen aging-wise. What can people expect with an older dog?
So they can expect them to be laying around a lot more. They're not going to be as happy all of the time and jumping around. They're not going to have as much energy as we know. But also, they're more susceptible to things like liver disease, periodontal disease, which we just discussed, cancers. So there's a whole other slew of diseases that your pet is much more susceptible to as they age. However, like I was saying, if you are on top of your vet visits, you should have no worries with it.
And are there things we can do with our younger dogs to help prevent some of these things down the road? I know the teeth is a big one.
Oh yeah, teeth is huge. I would just say go to your vet often as possible so you can have blood work done all of the time. And then another characteristic that I wanted to mention with older pets is that sometimes they can seem a little angry. They can seem like they are not having much patience. So that's something to consider, and also make sure that you're not disciplining them for that because they're so old. Older pets also go to the bathroom a lot because they can't hold their bowels as well either. So if you're getting a pet sitter or you're having someone come over and watch your pet, make sure that you let them know about that as well.
And I know that anybody would be able to adopt a dog of this age, but it sounds like somebody maybe a little bit older might do well with an older dog just based on a little bit less activity all the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like I said earlier, it just depends on the household, because for me, I would prefer a dog like this that's easygoing, not crazy, jumping off the walls and chewing everything in sight.
Right, and when we talk about dogs and getting old, how do we classify old dogs? Are there parameters on that?
There is, and that's actually a great question. So if your dog is 6 or older, they're considered geriatric, which means that they're considered like old folks. And so they age much faster than we do. So like a puppy that's a year old is a teenager in human years. So they age incredibly fast. So it's always up to us to make sure that they're healthy and happy.
Okay, and my dog is about to be 8, but it's funny, she hasn't acted any different from when I got her when she was 3, so she doesn't seem old to me.
Yeah.
She doesn't behave as if she's old. And then you look Jelly Bean here, and I wonder if maybe that's just the temperament of the dog. I mean, because I think some dogs may get older and still be somewhat active just because of who they are.
Oh, no, that's absolutely true, because I know a lot of people who have Jack Russell Terriers. Their dogs are pretty old, and they say they're exactly the same. They have a lot of energy, they're easygoing, they're chasing balls like crazy. So it just depends on the dog. And smaller dogs age slower than larger dogs, and cats also age much slower than larger dogs, so they'll live out lives much longer.
And as we get towards hopefully the end of summer here, are
Yeah.
you guys get busier, slower? What's the volume like at the Humane Society right now?
So right now, we are always jam-packed with lots of dogs. However, we have more cats than we do
Okay.
dogs right now. We have a lot of small dogs, just like Jelly Bean at the shelter, who need to find forever homes. And keep in mind, we have dogs of all different ages, ranges, and breeds. So I encourage everyone to look on our Facebook page or our website.
Samantha, Jelly Bean, thank you. So look at that.
Thank you.
She's tired. Thank you so much,
Easygoing.
guys. If you'd like to open your home to any type of pet, pay the Humane Society a visit. They're located on Kelvin, northwest of Country Club in Fort Lowell. They're open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 6 and Sundays noon to 5. If you want to call ahead, their number